Today I'm going to break down why the Raptor R experience is epic, and the most important thing is explain who I believe this car or truck is for, and even more importantly, who it is not for. We're saving that for the end, so stick around, but let's get straight to the exhaust note and a cold start. Double lock it, double click. Hello neighbors. See how much we can quiet that down if we needed to. You could set it up to your mode. This is the quiet mode. No one's gonna know you started it up. Hello, my name is Cameron. I've been nerding out on cars, been a part of the industry for over 10 years now. I just want to talk about the things that I think that matter. What you actually care about. Not all the nitty-gritty details. We'll talk about the stuff that matters, but I just really want to focus on figuring out who this is for and who it's not for, and just talk about the things that, to me, as a 10-year veteran, you kind of get bored of some things, but some things just continue to stand out and you really enjoy it, and that's what I want to share with you today. As much as I'm concerned about the enthusiast things for car nerds like myself, but if you're a regular person, you just want to daily drive this, I want to talk about only the things that matter. This truck is crazy, and I'm really excited to share this experience with you today. The Raptor R experience, let's knock some things out. What you want to know. Wired and wireless Apple CarPlay. Pull my phone out, take the wallet attachment off, pop it right down here if I want. Wireless charger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cup holders. This one specifically does not have a moonroof, but you can get the Raptor R with the moonroof. Auxiliary switches ready to go, wire in, that are easy under the hood. To change the drive modes by the 4-wheel drive button, you have it right here: sport, Baja, crawling, wet, tow. Put it back to normal. Push this button, the shifter folds down. Get my cup out of the way, put it here. Big old table. Can you imagine going In-N-Out Burger with this? Doing some work on the laptop. The Raptor R has some suede all over the seats, vented for air conditioning. You got the controls right here, auto, AC. You can set the fan speed limit, love that. R button, so you can save all your settings if you want it to always be in sport, this or that. You can do so many different settings. You can all have a preset right here with the R button. Quickly change the exhaust note, suspension settings, and steering stiffness. Double click that button. Basic tailgate, you can get an option with some measuring and whatnot. You've got a plug here, extension cord ready. To get this popped down, you click and pull once, and then it folds down softly. Supercharged V8 up on the hood, a different style of hood, unique to the Raptor R. And once you drive this once with this motor in it, any other Raptor, it's kind of hard to go back the other way. But be careful, you might want to protect yourself from it because the price tag is not for everyone. When I think about Ford coming out with this Raptor, it really is the Raptor that everyone wants and no one dislikes. Every single person that I've shared with it in person has had an amazing reaction. They love the truck. It's my favorite truck out right now by miles. The Ford has a different feel even over the TRX, which is a competitor. I would not even come close to choosing the TRX over the Raptor R. I try to be pessimistic to try and give both angles, but once you drive this truck, I challenge you to find something negative to say. It's just that good. Let's pop the hood, get the under the hood part over with. Just to make yourself familiar, you got a big old battery here, supercharger on top, 5.2 liter V8, your intake right here, your coolant expansion tank, ECU and all that over here, the computer that controls it, brake system over there, steering linkage. This is the air intake scoop for when you close the hood. The air goes through here. 700 horsepower, 640 pound-feet of torque. It's a lot, in a good way. If you didn't know, this has the Shelby GT500 engine in it. The supercharger has a smaller pulley than the GT500, so it's tuned down. It's got a little bit lower boost level, increases reliability, simplicity. More horsepower is not always better, especially in a truck when you just need it to work every single time. Ford took that into consideration for what I believe is something that simple. For the fun part of the episode, let's go for a drive and really get you a feel like, what is this truck really like behind the wheel? Brake on, start button over here. Just such an amazing cockpit, and you're gonna hear me sound very dramatic in this episode compared to other episodes. It's because it's actually dramatically just that good. First thing you're gonna notice when you're driving this thing around, when you put it in gear, besides the amazing exhaust note, is this thing is humongous. If you look at the lines on the screen, they barely fit in the white lines because the truck literally barely fits in the white lines. So I'm gonna back it into a space. All right, I'm gonna try and get this really perfect. Let me just show you. For a half-ton truck, it's large. It's wide. So in a parking spot, if your wife drives it, your girlfriend, she's gonna have to get used to just getting it perfect, because this is an Arizona sized parking spot, I like to call it. California spot, can you imagine how tight it might be? The tires are probably gonna be on the lines if you're in California, if not past it. You're asking for door dings. When you spend this much money on a truck, that's the last thing you want to happen. So just be cautious of that. That's something I noticed. I was like, yo, when you got cars on you left and right and they don't park perfect, I'm like, dang, this thing is humongous. The funnest thing to do in this truck with someone new is launch it. We're gonna take it out on the road and go find a place where we can launch it with auto hold on. My biggest fear is that you don't notice how rad the 10-speed transmission is. Like when you get on it, it makes the truck move 10 speeds. It keeps the gear ratio shorter. When you have shorter gear ratios, the car just goes and goes and goes. It never stops. First thing behind the wheel, we're gonna launch this with all 4 wheels moving at once. It is crazy. So the best way to do that, features, driving assistance, make sure auto hold is on. Go over to your dial right here. We're gonna put the truck in sport mode. Let it shift into 4-wheel drive. Traction control button, hold it. Advanced track off. We're ready. I'm gonna put it in drive. I wanna activate the auto hold. Auto hold is on. Okay, here we go. Oh my. Dude, I have never, ever covered that much ground in a truck this big. That is incredible. I'm gonna turn it to 2 high. You can get a little more playful here. There's a little bit of a hump in the road up here. Let me gain some speed, which is easy to do in this. Woo! This truck is awesome. As we drive it around a bit, we're gonna have a little more fun. I'm gonna put it in normal, put the exhaust in quiet mode, because you're wondering, this truck is so crazy. Can I live my normal day-to-day life? Because sometimes I need something quiet. I need to take a phone call. So I got the exhaust in quiet mode. It's very quiet at low RPMs. I know when you floor it, it opens it up. So just foot's barely in it. We're cruising. You can totally talk. You can hear me well. The AC's on low, but as soon as you get on it, she's still there. As long as your foot's not in it and you have it in quiet mode, I think this is as quiet as you'll ever need to be. And the insulation is so good in Fords, and the interior is so quiet. It holds together really well. If you just notice, this Ford vehicles in general, they're my favorite interior feel, because there's a lot less rattles than most other vehicles, and it's just chilling here. So let's put it back to sport. 4x4 shift in progress while you're going. That's cool. You get on this thing at 10 speed, it just goes. And the truck pulls back like this, and it's just right there. Brakes are insanely touchy, as every Ford. I have heard other people, and I do agree, I wish there was more intake noise. I'm assuming with an aftermarket intake, you will hear that supercharger whining like crazy. And for the part of the enthusiast group out there, you're gonna want all the whine you can get. I think that would make the driving experience that much more crazy in this vehicle. I'm gonna put it in 2 high. I just prefer to drive 2-wheel. Off-road to 4 automatic will be ideal. Gosh, this thing just goes. So fun to drive. Big old paddle shifters, if you see those, you can click the manual button here, and you notice it says M1 right there. It is nice to have these, especially when you're off-roading and you're in something sandy. You want to keep the RPMs higher, and the truck will do that in the sand mode for you and make it easy. You almost don't even need these paddles, because the transmission, the 10-speed, everything in the ECU that controls it. But it's nice to be able to be in control when you want, like using these paddles. and then having the downshifting on command when you want. But the automatic, it's plenty responsive. Enjoy this last bit of the drive, because we're going to head back and talk about who this is for and who this is not for, in my opinion. This is the first truck where I feel I can equally, it would be just as easy to get pulled over in this as a brand new Corvette or GT 350 or GT 500. You drive those cars around and you just think, I'm asking for it. I drive this truck around and I'm thinking, I'm asking for it and then some, because it's large, it's loud, everyone loves Raptors, they're always looking at them, and it's just so aggressive with the supercharger. I'm like, I'm that guy. Well, yeah, you're gonna want to pull me over, because you know I'm not driving this thing slow. Everywhere, it's just there. Kind of has a little backfire, a little burble sound. And then you put it in normal, it chills out a bit, but still there. It's one little away. This truck does let you rev it out in neutral, which is cool. Let me make sure we're in Baja mode for the exhaust. The 7000 is crazy. So cool. My favorite part of the episode, who this car is for and who it's not for. We can learn more about who it's not for, but let's talk about who it's for, in my opinion. This is for someone that doesn't have a budget for fuel. And this is for someone who's a mega enthusiast, where the V8 with the supercharger just tickles you just right. This is for you. You like all the technology, and whether you're 21 or 91, there's no one who can really dislike this truck. This is a truck for everyone. So if you're that guy, you like to be that guy, you enjoy those things, this is for you. But who this truck is not for, it's tough, because the only thing I could really think about that mattered is it's not for the, how do I put this? This truck is not for the non-enthusiast. So if you're a Raptor lover, you love Raptors, you love the modularity, you can get the racks, the bed cage, this, that, all these things, the off-road look, you just like how they look. But you're just a regular guy, you just need a truck, you just happen to like the Raptors. Don't feel pressure to get the Raptor R. You're spending that much more money to get just a motor upgrade, a little bit of a stiffer chassis for off-road jumps and stuff. So if this is your daily driver and you're not some crazy enthusiast like myself, where you're gonna get swayed by people say, dude, if you have the money, or just go all out and get the Raptor R, I wouldn't stress it. You're gonna have fun with the regular EcoBoost V6 twin turbo. It's plenty quick, it gets up and goes. They're good motors, they've been refining over a long period of time. Not as good as this motor in my opinion, but this car is not for someone who is conscious about their miles per gallon. You're gonna get 10 to 15 miles a gallon, probably driving it around like we did today, if that. And it's just gonna have a lot of people are gonna peer pressure into like needing this if you have the money to spend it. And honestly, if you're the non-enthusiast, I would be careful and really only purchase this vehicle if you are obsessed over an engine setup like that. I am. A lot of you probably are. Most of you probably are. But there are quite a few people that their buddy would tell them get the Raptor R when they don't even know the difference between the type of motor. And if you don't care and you just acknowledge that you're that type of person, don't get this Raptor. It's not worth the extra money. The other Raptors are just as good. It's just the motor you're paying all that extra money for, in my opinion. That's all you need to focus on. What a beautiful truck, though. What an awesome episode. I'm so thankful for the folks over at Ford for letting me spend a week with this vehicle. Give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment if you think that this truck is worth $150K. The MSRP is 110, I believe, around there. You know they're gonna sell for around 150K because they're hard to get. So I saw one for sale today for 170. So let me know in the comments if you think that they're worth 170. And speaking of car technology, we got the sick 5.2 GT500 motor in this, but if you haven't seen the Kia EV6 GT, oh my gosh, it's fast. And I got that video for you on the screen over here. Go check it out, it's interesting, and we had fun learning about it.